Rigathi Gachagua is not tribal because when William Ruto stood as president, he was not Kikuyu, he was Kalenjin. There was a candidate called Mwaura Wahiga. If I was tribal, I would have supported Mwaura, not William Ruto. When things were working for him, he had such kind words about me when I was supporting him. This guy is a people's person. He cares for the ordinary people. He's a great mobilizer. He loves his country. You play the clip, what he said on May 15 when he unveiled me as running mate.
With that, I'm with you. If you are a tribalist, by the way, you would have supported Mwaura. I mean, who would vote for Kalenjin na kuna Mkikuyu na wewe Mkikuyu? So, it is true. It is indeed true that our leaders are not tribalist. Are they? No, I don't think so. Actually, even Wakikuyu, they are not tribalist. Walipigia mkale. Therefore, they are not tribalist. Actually. Na nani alikuwa amewaongoza? Rigiji ndiye alikuwa amewaonyesha njia. So, the problem was not tribalism. Then, let's go back to the video where he was talking about Uhuru Kenyatta and the things that he has done to them. I deliberately played that part yenye anaongelea mambo ya rubies, how the rally is not helping people, the people of Chaka are not suffering, venye Uhuru ananunua maziwa kila mahali. You remember that part? Yeah. Now, Valentine, I want you to remember that part in this context. Because the reason I'm putting it in this context is one, because Rigiji wants a narrative that wants to create a narrative that it was not tribalism that took him to Kenya Kwanza nini. But it was business interest. Really, it was business interest. He knew with Ruto there was something that he was to gain. Was it that just because that Ruto is a very dedicated servant, and same case as Gachagua, they are both dedicated public servants who are out to do good to the people of Kenya? No. If you ask me, I'll tell you these were two partners in crime. These were two people who were intending to commit a crime, but then they didn't agree when it came to the time of committing the actual crime. Yeah? Unaona? Mnashikana wakora wawili, mnashikana mnapanga 1 2 3 3 3, then it doesn't go the way you want, or you get shortchanged. So you are not there because you don't know that this person is a bad person or they are of questionable character, but rather because you have something, you have a greater thing that you're trying to pursue. Sawa sawa. Anyway, let's continue and listen to the other part.
When things were working for him, he had such kind words about me when I was supporting him. This guy is a people's person. He cares for the ordinary people. He's a great mobilizer. He loves his country. You play the clip, what he said on May 15 when he unveiled me as running mate. It was the best poem I've ever had in my life. He had such lovely and kind words about me. But now that I disagreed with him to tell him you cannot kill children, you cannot steal the country's wealth, then he says Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist.
Wow. Now, that was the best poem. Mr. Poet Man. Ile ulikuwa unaambia, ile kwa bina show ilikuwa ni? Ile poem ya kuambia Dorcas. Bwana producer, hebu tucheze yako hapa hivi.
Honey among rocks, lemon of the cluster, soothing balm, the apple of my eye.
Wait. Okay.
Because I'm a poet too.
Bwana Poet, haujaisikia poem mzuri kama hiyo. Anyway, you said we play that clip when he was announcing you as the running mate. With your permission, Bwana Rigiji, may I?
The consensus pointed out to an individual who scored excellent points on every evaluative parameter. An astute debater with prodigious persuasive ability. A fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative. A successful elected politician and business person, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and resolve, a fearless fighter for the right cause, and an indefatigable champion of the betrayed, persecuted, downtrodden, the despised, and the ignored. A living example of a true hustler who rose from the hardships of the aftermath of our freedom struggle to the pinnacle of professional, business, and political success. We are nominating a running mate, and I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order in accordance with Article 21E of the Kenyan Constitution. Article 21E of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition Agreement that will provide this Kenyan.
We, Bwana Rigiji, you can't even smile kidogo, like, eh. Even after that poem, you said it was the best poem you've ever had. I didn't see it melt your heart. Ama toxic masculinity haiwezi kubali. Kwanza vile umekunja mapua bwana. You couldn't give it just a charming smile, like, huh? Anyway, I digress. Maybe it was not about the words. You knew there was something more than that. There was something else you were looking. Hey, how will you make me nigger when you? How will you make this nigger richer when you become president? Was that what was going through your mind? I'm not definite. Anyway, let's go back to your speech. Listen further what you had to say. But Mimi, you're Kazura. You're saying those are the best words you've ever heard about you. They don't match. I don't think you... Did you really believe in them? Really? Does your body language show whether you believed in them or not? Anyway, let's continue.
My daughter, please, don't fall into that narrative. When you are here, you talk about Kenyans, you don't talk about America. Every group of people have some identity. Never allow anybody to make you feel embarrassed about who you are and where you come from. That narrative by William Ruto is meant to intimidate the Kikuyu nation and to make us feel sorry about who we are and challenge our capacity to work hard. And that is why when I get an opportunity, I must remind the country that the Mount Kenya people have not been given any advantage by anybody. They are wealthy, they are enterprising because they work hard. They are industrious, and they must be allowed to be. If I keep quiet, the people will be intimidated to feel sorry about themselves and who they are. Nobody has given the people of Mount Kenya any advantage. If you want a loan, you must pay security. If you want a business, you must pay licenses. The people are simply hardworking. By me saying they are hardworking, I never said anybody else is lazy. No. I don't believe in negative ethnicity, but I believe in affirming my people and who they are, and I defend them from intimidation.
Wow. Rigiji, such a higher calling, right? To defend your own people, remind them who they really are, take them back to their cultural identity. Gikuyu na Mobi, mtoto wa Maumau, blah, 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 blah. A noble job that you're doing, by the way. Clap for you. I honestly clap for you. And I really like it when people are taken back to their roots, back to their culture. That's why we should go too, because honestly, we are not Europeans. Our bodies were not meant to eat pizza. Look at an African body, bana. We are meant to eat yams, kuku, cassava, So that was what was meant for our body, because God created us on this land for some reason and gave us our own foods to eat that was so good for our bodies. Anyway, that was not the topic of the day. But Bwana Rigiji, you don't engage in negative ethnicity. Nobody says that there's any advantage that has been given to the Agikuyu people. Yes, the Agikuyu people are hardworking. You can never take that from them. However, hardworking is not a characteristic of a tribe. That is a personality issue. Whether you are lazy or you are hardworking, are there lazy Kikuyus? Of course there are. Are there lazy Luos? They are there. Are there lazy Kambas? They are there. However, it should be a question of equity versus equality. Are there the same opportunities for someone who is outside of the Kikuyu land? Let's look at the road. I would like to compare. I'm from Ukambani toward Kikuyu land for quite a while. And not only Kikuyu land, I've been to Coast, I've been to Nyanza, I've been to Western. Oh, well, tuseme mahali sijatua Kenya vizuri should be more of Nyanza. At least I've toured Western kiasi. But I'd say I've not gone to the interiors of Nyanza. Northeastern pia sijatembea, but I'm still a young man. Time will help me. But compare the infrastructure that is in the Murima versus your neighbors Ukambani ama uende to Coast. Look at the road connection. Look at the opportunities that are within the Kikuyu. Pipe to water. Where to pipe to water is like a dream come true for many, including myself. Roads, tarmac roads. Almost everyone I know wa kutoka Kikuyu land, at least 80% of them are connected to a working road network. Ours, you have to guess. You have to guess where the road is. Just imagine. You have to guess where the road is. So when we talk about opportunities, are they the same? No. So any hardworking Kikuyu will be able to take advantage of the existing opportunity within the environment to make a living, to practice entrepreneurship, business skills, and so forth and so on. But is it the same case in other areas of the country? No. If you are pro-Kenya, you would be talking about the marginalized regions. Nobody has given the Kikuyus an advantage. But we know historically what happened, where the central land was, the highlands region was seen as the most productive ones, and money was sent there. Then there was the other marginalized areas that were seen as not productive. We all know that what happened. I'm forgetting the exact name. Sijui mbona inanipotelea. But there was that kutumwa pesa mahali kunaonekana ni kama ndio kuna productivity. And traditionally that went to the Agikuyu. Is it to mean that Wario wangekuwa na access hiyo pesa ama wangekuwa na access the same opportunities in the 1970s that we would be having Northeastern looking like that, really? Ukambani wangekuwa na the same opportunities that were being channeled to watu wa Murima. Would it look at the same? Then we would be seeing the hardworking Kambas, the hardworking Somalis, Boranas, and all these other marginalized tribes being able to take advantage of the opportunities that have been presented to them the same way the ones that have been presented to the Kikuyu have, without the disparity. So just because your people are hardworking or are able to take advantage of opportunities, let's talk about the places that there are no opportunities first. And that is what Valentine Wanjiru was talking about. Toka kwa Murima kwanza, because these problems are not affecting the Kikuyu people alone, by the way. When businesses are closed down, when children are shot, Gen Zs, it's not only the Kikuyu that are targeted. Other tribes are also targeted, including Kalenjins. And these are the lies that we are trying to deconstruct. And the Kenyans, so that lest you forget, you will always remember that this is the same narrative that Ruto came with. These people are bad. I'm the best option. This is the only option you have. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a good. He did bad. No. He might have done something bad, but we must also call out on your crap as an individual. Anyway, let's continue.
My daughter, if you follow what happened 2 weeks before I came to America, you realize why I have to defend the Mount Kenya people. Businesses for the Mount Kenya people were targeted for destruction. In other areas, they were not destroyed because they wanted to intimidate the people of that region into silence. If you look at the people who were arrested and taken to court, 92% are from that region and charged with terrorism. If you do remember, there was a meeting in Mount Elgon where William Ruto was seated, and the MP for Ebuya West, Honorable Wanyama, said that all communities will gang up to isolate the mountain people. And William Ruto was there laughing and clapping. Somebody must defend the mountain. If all of us get intimidated and allow the people to be intimidated and to be made to feel sorry as to who they are, what happens? And I say, I don't have to be president. I don't have to be anybody in Kenya. And if I'll be nobody, because I stand with people, let it be.
Reggie, in this case, I totally agree with you. You don't have to be anybody, but you actually have a moral duty, a higher calling, an obligation to help us get this man out of power democratically. Underline democratically, okay? Democratically, you have to get him out. We don't trust in leadership, but if you are ready to forfeit your position of power just to get him out, hapo tuko yes kindole sambusa. Now, Rigiji, I have something to say. You don't have to be anybody, but what influence will you have? Are you sure that you won't have any influence if you kick him? You don't have to be anybody, but if you kick him out, what will happen? You'll be controlling a good chunk of the government, whether by proxy or you are there. Okay, the end justifies the means. I'm not definite whether we can trust you with a position of leadership. Okay, let me not speak on behalf of people. I cannot trust Rigathi Gachagua in a position of leadership. However, does he help us deconstruct something that we urgently need to do away with? Yes, he does that. Is he doing a good job defending his community? Yes. But if you want to become a national leader, then you have to get out of that cocoon of the Murima. Because hizi mashida hazi-affect watu wa Murima pekee, and they are not the only ones being targeted. Or are you trying to say that there will be ethnic cleansing? By the way, that time you're talking about the Sabasaba maandamano, do you remember one of the casualties called Brian Kimutai? Mamake alikuwa lazima akae na mtoto for the whole night, protecting her son and trying to get a morgue. Kimutai was not a Kikuyu. When he was killed by the police, were they targeting Kikuyu? I don't think that wakati walikuwa naua Boniface Kariuki Mwangi, did they ask him, oh, excuse me, are you Kikuyu? Then douche down. No. That time tribe didn't matter. And actually, Valentine, don't accept the name daughter. These people, politicians, are of the same class. They call us our sons, our daughters, the youth, they are the children. Nini. You're our children. We are not your children. Address me as a grown-up. Because wakikushika, as long as you have an ID, whatever they do to you, they don't treat you like a kid. When they get you and they start when they abduct you and they start to kufinya, utafinya ati ni kama mtoto, atipiga pole huyu ni mtoto. This is our future generation. No. Ask Albert Ojwang and many others who have been abducted, even the ones who walked out with their lives. So unfortunate, the likes of Albert Ojwang died as a result of brutality. But ingekuja ikuwe ni story ya mwanasiasa, kana hata mwanasiasa angemuita, oh my son, you know, you are our children, blah blah blah. But when you start using violence, you don't use it to match the same kind of energy or vigor that you would use on your own son. So don't call people sons or daughters just for convenience sake. Okay? Na hapo ndio sasa tunafaa as Gen Zs stop being called children. You are not children, you are adults. Uko na KRA pin, you can pay your tax, you uko na ID. Ukifanya kitu mbaya utawekwa ndani. You are not a kid. You are an adult. Kwanza, what is the minimum age, working age? Because even at 16 Kenyans, we should be working. The earlier people start working, the better. Because how can you be starting working at 25? Na unataka ucompete na mzungu alianza kuwork at 15, 16. How? Anyway, back to Rigiji.
I supported William Ruto knowing he's not a Kikuyu. I and the people of Mount Kenya are nationalists. We are good people. Against the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta, our own son, who was president, he told us, this man is a thief. And if you elect him, you shall suffer. And we said, no, we promised him. We have an arrangement, we are honest people, we are men of integrity. Let us give him a chance. Because we are not tribal. Had we been tribal, we would have listened to Uhuru Kenyatta, our own son. So let nobody tell us that the Mount Kenya people are tribal. Please give us a break.
No, I tend to disagree with that. Hii mambo ya Uhuru Kenyatta, si tulikuwa tumeongelelea before. Okay, now Uhuru Kenyatta had warned you. But according to you, yeye alikuwa mlevi, ulimtoa kwa bar. Alikuwa mlevi, ulimtoa kwa bar, si ndio? Anyway, you didn't listen to his advice. But would you consciously say that without Uhuru's advice that Ruto would not be the best man to head this country, to lead this country? You didn't know that part. You didn't know what kind of a person he was. You are the one who reminded us about the Kiambaa Church. By the way, let's say we had forgotten. Let's assume we had forgotten. Is it Uhuru who reminded you about that, by the way? Is it Uhuru who reminded you about the church killings? Si ni ulitukumbusha hivi juzi? Ni Uhuru alikuwa amekupigia simu akakwambia, by the way, do you remember in 2007, 2008 when there was police execution violence? You have the details, don't you? You know something that we don't know. But for the sake of your own convenience, you'd rather twist your truth to suit you. No, we are going to untwist it. We are going to twist that truth and squeeze out the juice. The juice must be worth the squeeze. Okay, let's go on. So, wewe ulikuwa unajua Ruto. So, the issue is not that you didn't know what kind of a man Ruto was. The issue was, I would tell, interest. There was something that really, really interested you there. Did you really get to ask Uhuru what was the problem, why he was against it? You had been his PA for quite a while. How much did you know? Because it's not like you didn't know. You were in government, at some point you were Uhuru's PA, ukakuja ukakuwa kwa gava, ukafanya kazi na wao directly. You didn't know who Ruto was. Or maybe he had a promise to make you a very, very rich man. I hear he makes people rich. Was that a promise, maybe? So there was a bigger catch. I believe so. But not at the tribalism. By the way, hapo kwa tribalism, it's not tribalism that made you or made you vote for Ruto. No. It was business interest or whatever interest it was, but not tribalism. Hapo tuko pamoja. What you just did, and that is my problem with most politicians, you took advantage of the tribal card to play to your advantage. Whatever works for you is okay. And I really hope, I believe hapa ndio tunakuja kurealize hiyo. Let's listen further.
We are not. We are good people. And that is why you find today all other communities are happy to work with us. Because we are good people, we are honest people, and we are nationalistic. And we are part of Kenya. But that does not change our identity and the language that we speak together. Just the way we respect other communities and their right to speak their own language, we too must be respected and be allowed to speak our own language. all that noise you had in Kenya when I arrived in Seattle was because of the Gemi Festival. People who don't like us were unhappy that the people are so many looking happy and singing their songs. That's all. They would like us to be divided so that they can rule us forever. And I am aware and I'm very conscious that our unity is our strength. And our relevance in the national political discourse is informed by being united and casting our vote in one ballot box. So I want to assure you, my daughter, we are good people and we are national. And I work with everybody. And I have traveled. I was in Ukambani. I was received like a king. I was in Mombasa, Kilifi, Malindi. I had a good engagement with the people. I was in Narok. I was in Kajiado. I work well with the Ma. I was in Bungoma. I was in Kakamega. I was in Vihiga. I was appreciated by those people. The people of Kisii are waiting for me because they know I'm a Kenyan leader. I am a nationalist. But much as I'm a Kenyan, I'm a nationalist. I come from somewhere. And I retain my right to talk for those people if I find somebody who wants to throw them under the bus. And that is something that we must do all the time. Why do we say one term? And that's why I need your help, because you are part of Kenya.
Wow. That last part. Okay. I think this is the most interesting part for me because you say that you're defending your people, you're defending them against, it's not wrong to speak your language. And I actually believe, I actually embrace on positive cultural ethnicity and being pro our own culture. That I am with you 100%, Bwana Rigiji. However, I have a problem with you using this tribal card to take advantage, telling people that you have to vote in one basket. No, a basket does not have to entail the Kikuyu votes. It has to entail people who think based on certain ideologies, certain values that cut across beyond your ethnic boundaries, beyond your, let me call them ethnic nationalities, because cultural nationalities, beyond the language. The time for Kenya to vote, not to vote in one basket as you are saying. We are not going to cast our vote in one basket at Wakikuyu waweke kwa basket moja. We are saying those of the idea that this is what should be happening in Kenya are going to vote this way. Whether the majority of them are Kikuyu or not, we don't care. So this is one thing of, especially you coming and saying that, uku ni DCP, anyone who comes with a different chama in the Murima is against or is sent by Ruto. No, that's not pro-democracy. I don't think so. And actually, Kikuyus, let me warn you, mpige suti, mpige DCP from bottom to down, still solving the same problem. Still having to deal with the same issues. So I really hope you don't make the same mistake twice. Let's mix and match. Wacha wakue hawezi patana. There's nobody who can control or who can say that they have a majority. They can pass laws, they can do this, they can be called and to negotiate to sway vitu kama hizo. Parties should not be a regional affair. Yes, you can have a stronghold. We can maybe be saying that Nyeri ni stronghold ya DCP. But not at the whole of Kikuyu ni DCP. Then Wakamba wakuja na chama yao. Na wengine wakuja na chama yao. Every tribal kakun and every tribal leader comes with their own nini. Si hata mwacha kuita, msiite hata whatever, msiite hata jina. Mkuja mseme Kikuyu National Party, Wakamba National Party, Luo and a few Luyas, whatever. Because actually these chamas, they actually go beyond your your backyard, mali una protect. You want your ideas to be in Kisii. You want your ideas to go to the coast. You want your ideas to go in Ukambani. But we will never forget about the shares narrative. I heard you defending the shares narrative, saying that it was Ruto who told you to say that. I mean, where was your conscience then? Or it was convenient during that time? Kenyans, let's stay woke. Let's tell out these leaders what they are. And don't forget that were things to change, these people would flip the coin. They'll experience a Damascus moment and all of a sudden they are good. So the thing that, mse ametoka kwa governor now because he's no longer in the government, he's opposing, he is for us, or he's talking the same language that we are. That now warrants him now to win our sympathy and all of a sudden, out of the blues, become the best man, the best thing that has ever happened to Kenya after sliced bread. Oh, no. This time, we are looking at people based on their values. Kuna tu ukweli Rigiji unatusaidia. Yes, you are helping us deconstruct. You are helping us weaken the Kenya Kwanza narratives, helping us expose. We are learning a lot from you, but at the same time, we'll always call you out for the man you are. Truthful, don't hide the truth. Don't hide the truth yote. Usikuwa unatuwekea nusu unauma ukipuliza. Inject yote. And mahali tunaona unatudanganya, we will also unpack the truths. We will also unpack the truth. That has been my time. Remember to subscribe, man. If this episode really intrigued you, feel free to comment, react, like, comment, tell us, give us feedback, whether positive or negative. We always appreciate and we'll always work to improving and giving you better content each day. Feel free to share this link with someone who you think might be of the same mindset or someone who you think will get something from this. Until next time, adios and keep warm, stay woke, keep questioning.